Let's talk about editing our photograph. So we've talked about composition and the rule of thirds, and we've talked about the dangers of photo manipulation. Now, you may need to do some editing on your photo, just maybe to enhance the message that you're trying to say. Maybe you don't need to. So it's up to you to try it. I encourage you, again, not to over edit it. Just make any changes just to enhance like your photo or enhance a story that you're trying to tell. There are lots of online photo editing tools. There's actually editing tools even in on your phone that you may want to use, and that's totally fine. The one that I'm going to choose for us to use is Picmonkey, only because it has the most features for us that are free. There's a little bit of a catch to it though, but I just want to I want to encourage you to use this one, but if you have other ones that you use already, go right ahead. I don't want you to add features like Snapchat has, like stickers or like the dog ears and things like that. I don't want you to do anything like that though. I want to think of it. So again, it's not a selfie. This is a self-portrait. So you click on the link, that's going to take you to Picmonkey. Of course, you always are going to log in with your Google account. So you don't need to sign up, you just have to continue with Google. So we're going to be using obviously the free version of Picmonkey. So you're going to get your image up there, you're going to put edit new image and you upload it from your computer. I'm going to use a stock image. I'm going to edit the image. So like we discussed, the first thing we want to do is we want to talk about the composition. So we may need to resize our photo. Maybe the photo that you've taken the way it is, maybe that you're happy with it, the rule of thirds applies to it, you're happy with this composition, that's totally great. Maybe you want to adjust it to make a different message. So first step you should do is probably crop your canvas if you'd like to. Again, it makes our grid for us. So yeah, I'm taking a stock photo, so it already follows the rule of thirds, but I like the idea of it more to the side. I think it just, actually I'm going to even make that smaller. I'm going to work on it that way. I just think it has a different look for me. Okay, so if you're happy with that, you put apply. If you don't like something, Control Z, like everything. So there's a lot of options here. So these are our edits if you need to rotate it, resize it, anything like that. There's different things that you can do here. You're going to have to play around with a lot of it. You can play with the exposure. So any of the things that you make adjustments with, that's a much neater look. And again, that's a whole other kind of message, story that it tells. If I like that, I'm going to hit apply. So you can change, you can play with the colors as well. You can, you know, we talked about lighting, and this is another way to sort of make things warmer. So again, that has a different feeling than it being cooler has a different feeling. If play around with all these different features. If you like it, then hit apply. So those are some of the basic edits that you can do to it. Again, there is a touch-up feature, but I want you to stay away from that, making your teeth whiter or, you know, your skin smoother and things like that. But another thing that you may want to play with are different effects. And if you like any of these, maybe you can, you know, if you really want it to be, if you're looking for a different look, maybe you want to play around with some of, like, maybe you want it more moonlight kind of picture. Again, this is a totally different story and a different message. If you like it, hit apply. If you don't like it, Control Z. But there's lots of different options. Maybe you want it turned black and white. Maybe you want it, you know, more gritty, old looking, things like that. Another options are textures as well. Same thing. You can play around with stuff like that. I don't want you to go too crazy. I want you to think very much of it still the essence of it being a photograph. There are different themes, there's frames, there's different collages. I want you to stay away from this because this here is more like selfie, social media looking. We want to sort of stay with these ones when we're thinking about self-portrait. Now, I like how this turned out. It's much different from the original, definitely a different sort of mood. Now, the downside for us is to download it, you need to have a paid account. So the nice thing about Picmonkey is that you have access to all these features for free, but to download it, you need a paid account. So we can't download it, but we can screenshot it. So for me, I have a snipping tool. For you, you have to snip it just from your computer. So for me, I'm just going to save it this way. For you, you're going to use your tools on your Chromebook, which is the Windows key, and I think the middle one there, it saves it as a PNG. Okay, and then that's the photo that you're going to use. I encourage you to try a few different options and a few different things to come up with something that you really like. So it's so easy for you to keep, re-editing stuff and try different things. This is when you get to be really creative. You're on the computer and you still have the original photo, so you're not making any mistakes. So try a few of your photos, try a few different things to some of your photos and see what you like the best.